to a miracle marketing strategy beyond the realms of reasonable possibility. It is announced simultaneously on radio, compact disc and TV. The John, Paul, George and Ringo, they're going to be reforming as the Beatles in 1993. And things skip into action immediately. George buys the film rights in a flurry of activity. Paul says they're not going to play Japan. And Ringo cancels his chat show plans. And John, who was never the quiet one, John stays silent for the time being. And the world sings, when the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. They're going to be sponsored by Visa. When the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. And lawyers start to draw up large contracts involving sponsorship, t-shirt deals, Michael Jackson. They're interviewed on live TV about management deals and corporate policy. And who's going to be the manager of the new Beatles PLC? The manager is made up of clone parts of Colonel Tom Parker, Richard Nixon, Donald Trump, and of course George wants the Maharishi. And finally they get into the studio, and they're going to be co-produced by, guess what, George Martin and Jeff Lynne. Ringo's disappointed to find that no one needs him anymore except for the vibe, because he's been sampled. He's now available as part of the Great Drummer Sampled series for $9.99, available from your local corner shop, compatible with your cheapest available possible computer. The irony is, it plays in time. Well, the Who, the Stones, Debbie Gibson and Bros record a supergroup single at very great cost, but it's so hard to make the charts because everyone's taking the new Beatles to heart from the day of the announcement to the day of the big reunion gig at Chase Stadium. Every record in the top 40 on both sides of the Atlantic for 3 whole years is by Lennon and McCartney, except something which was George Harrison's only good one. And the world sings, when the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. It's going to be sponsored by Greenpeace as well. When the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. George gets Monty Python in to do some vocals, and Linda takes a lot of photos for a book that is sold out before she even thought of putting it out. John, who's never the quiet one, John makes all his press contributions by quoting from his old songs in tune, in time, with the backing track behind him. And when somebody asks him what it's like in the studio, he says, well, it's been a hard day tonight. No one understands him, but he always was the cryptic one. When the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. And finally the record hits the shelves, and it's called The Beatles, from ourselves. And for anyone who didn't know, well, it sounded quite a lot like ELO, or ELP, or FYC, or REM, or XTC. It sounded a lot like XTC, but it didn't sound much like PSI. It didn't sound much like PS, I love you. And finally, the day before the big gig at Che, the word goes around, people are saying that they're not gonna play. The whole thing's been a big insurance scam to get the reissues selling again. A very cynical attitude, but I expect the money is making interest in someone's bank account. And then we're over at the stadium. Over to you, Roger. The lights go down, that screaming stops, you can hear a pin drop. And suddenly there they are, and I get scared as they go until I saw her standing there. And they crash through the best set in the world, encore with the whole of Sgt. Pepper's. In order, they're gods, and I'm in heaven, but on the very last chord of A Day in the Life, the Beatles are beamed off into outer space by a waiting spaceship which takes them to a better place, a place where no one knows them, a place where reunions are not expected of anyone, not even the Buzzcocks. This is my dream, I bought it, I bought the product, you can believe what you like, but it happened, folks. Alright, that's why I'm singing now. When the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. When the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. protest lives on, that's what they say. When the Beatles hit America, when